Before watching this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. Have you ever felt tightness in your chest or shortness of breath? I experienced this alarming reality 30 years ago at age 53. Despite being a physician who had treated thousands, my own heart was sending me warning signals I had ignored. I'm Dr. John Miller, and at 85, I've dedicated nearly 5 decades as an internist helping patients achieve healthier aging. Today, I'll share how small changes to your diet and routine can protect your blood vessels and extend precious moments with loved ones. 30 years ago, I regularly enjoyed bacon, coffee with creamer, and sugary snacks, believing my medical knowledge would shield me from consequences. This confidence shattered when I experienced severe chest pain and was rushed to the ER. My blood vessels were nearly blocked with hyperlipidemia, condition I had diagnosed in countless patients but failed to address in myself. Hyperlipidemia isn't just concerning numbers on a lab report, it's a silent killer, methodically damaging your cardiovascular system without obvious symptoms. This condition operates covertly, gradually building plaque in your arteries, while giving few warning signs until reaching critical stages. The statistics are alarming. Approximately 40% of Americans over 65 have this condition, yet more than half remain completely unaware until it progresses to an advanced, potentially life-threatening stage. This silent nature makes hyperlipidemia particularly dangerous, as many people feel perfectly healthy while their blood vessels are increasingly compromised. The consequence of this silent progression is that many patients first discover their condition only after experiencing a significant cardiovascular event. By then, extensive damage has often already occurred. Regular blood tests are vital for early detection, particularly for those with family histories of heart disease or stroke. Without these preventive screenings, the first symptom might be chest pain, shortness of breath, or, worse, a heart attack or stroke that could have been prevented. My patient Mrs. Thompson exemplifies this common pattern. At 72, she was devastated by her hyperlipidemia diagnosis, breaking down in tears in my office. "Doctor, does this mean I won't live to see my grandchildren graduate? Will I miss their weddings?" she asked, her voice trembling with fear. Like many Americans, she had enjoyed foods high in saturated and trans fats for decades. Believing her occasional walks provided sufficient protection, her cholesterol levels were dangerously elevated, putting her at significant risk for a cardiovascular event. However, Mrs. Thompson's story took an encouraging turn. After diligently adopting the dietary changes and exercise methods I'll share with you today, she achieved remarkable results in a relatively short time. Within just 6 months, she reduced her total cholesterol by 20% and significantly improved her ratio of good to bad cholesterol. These improvements weren't just numbers on a lab report, they translated into meaningful quality of life enhancements. Today, Mrs. Thompson regularly enjoys walks in the park with her grandchildren, without experiencing the shortness of breath that previously limited her activities. "I feel like I've been given a second chance," she told me during a recent checkup, her eyes bright with gratitude and renewed energy. One of the most pervasive and dangerous misconceptions about hyperlipidemia is the belief that consuming fatty foods won't affect certain individuals. "Because my ancestors ate this way and lived long lives," or "my grandfather ate bacon every morning and lived to 95. This rationale creates a false sense of security that can have serious consequences. While our grandparents and great-grandparents certainly consumed meat and traditional dishes containing fat, today's American diet bears remarkably little resemblance to the food patterns of previous generations. The critical difference lies in both food quality and overall lifestyle. Our ancestors' meals were typically prepared at home, with fresh, seasonal ingredients, minimal processing, and portion sizes that reflected higher physical activity levels. They consumed meat less frequently than many Americans do today, and that meat was often from animals raised without hormones or antibiotics. Additionally, they rarely consumed the highly processed convenience foods that dominate many modern diets. In stark contrast, our contemporary American tables are frequently laden with ultra-processed foods, refined sugars, artificial trans fats, and larger portion size, all consumed within the context of increasingly sedentary lifestyles. Farm to table wasn't a trendy concept for previous generations, it was simply how people ate. The eggs, milk, and meat came from animals that grazed on natural diets. Vegetables were often grown in family gardens without synthetic pesticides. Meals were prepared from scratch rather than assembled from packaged ingredients, with lengthy lists of additives and preservatives. This fundamental difference in food quality and preparation methods makes comparisons between modern and historical diets problematic at best. Another widespread misconception is that medication alone can solve hyperlipidemia without lifestyle modifications. Many patients believe that taking a prescribed statin or other cholesterol-lowering medication provides complete protection, regardless of dietary choices. While statin medications certainly help lower cholesterol levels by inhibiting its production in the liver, they cannot fully compensate for poor dietary habits. Without addressing the underlying dietary and lifestyle factors contributing to hyperlipidemia, blood vessel damage continues despite medication use. I often explain this concept to patients using a straightforward analogy. Medication for hyperlipidemia is similar to using an umbrella during a rainstorm. The umbrella provides valuable protection from the rain falling directly on you, but it doesn't stop the rain itself from falling. Similarly, while medication offers important protection by lowering cholesterol levels, it doesn't address the continuous influx of unhealthy fats and sugars that contribute to vascular inflammation and damage. Unless we change our fundamental eating patterns and increase physical activity, the underlying problem persists and may eventually overwhelm the medication's protective effects. Many patients have experienced this reality firsthand, taking statins for years while continuing unhealthy dietary patterns, only to find their cholesterol levels plateau or even worsen over time. Medication works most effectively when paired with heart-healthy eating patterns, moderate exercise, and other lifestyle modifications that support cardiovascular health. The third common misconception, perhaps the most resigned and fatalist, is the belief that elevated cholesterol is simply inevitable with advancing age, representing an unavoidable aspect of the aging process. Many older adults express this sentiment with statements like, "At my age, what can I expect?" Or "Everyone in my family develops heart problems eventually." While it's true that blood vessels naturally become less elastic over time, and cholesterol metabolism changes with age, accepting poor vascular health as unavoidable represents a dangerous surrender that can significantly reduce both quality and quantity of life. Research consistently demonstrates that meaningful improvements in cardiovascular health remain possible at any age. My 82-year-old patient, Mr. Wilson, provides a compelling example of this potential. After receiving his hyperlipidemia diagnosis, rather than resigning himself to medication dependence, he committed to transforming his diet and incorporating gentle daily exercise. Within a year, his vascular health as measured through multiple clinical parameters had improved to resemble that of someone in their early 60s. His physician was astonished by the improvements in blood flow, arterial flexibility, and overall cardiovascular function. "I never imagined I could change so much at this age," Mr. Wilson shared during a follow-up appointment, his eyes bright with newfound energy, as he described his daily walks in the park and new food preferences. His experience, replicated across many patients in their 70s, 80s, and beyond, conclusively demonstrates that age alone should never be considered a barrier to cardiovascular improvement. The body maintains remarkable regenerative capacity throughout life, responding positively to improved nutrition and appropriate physical activity, regardless of chronological age. Many seemingly innocent foods harbor one of the most dangerous substances for cardiovascular health: trans fats. These artificial fats lurk in cookies, donuts, fried foods, ice cream, and bread products. Trans fats significantly harden arterial walls and make blood vessels prone to rupture or blockage. Harvard research shows they increase stroke risk by approximately 30%, a statistic too alarming to ignore. To avoid trans fats, read food labels carefully and look for partially hydrogenated shortening. Healthier alternatives include almonds, walnuts, avocados, olive oil, salmon, mackerel, oats, quinoa, broccoli, and spinach. Foods rich in omega-3s and fiber that maintain clean vessels. Many seemingly healthy options contain the second hidden cardiovascular killer: excessive sugars. These appear in fruit juices, flavored yogurts, cereal bars, and even light salad dressings. These sugars convert to LDL, bad cholesterol in your body, contributing to arterial blockages. The WHO recommends consuming less than 25 grams of sugar daily, yet a single glass of orange juice typically contains more than 30 grams. Hidden sugars disguise themselves in ingredient lists. Terms ending in os, glucose, fructose, maltose, and ingredients like fruit juice concentrate or honey often simply mean sugar. Choose plain, unsweetened yogurt with fresh berries, water with lemon instead of juice, and make your own dressings with olive oil and lemon juice. Weekend gatherings around bacon, ribs, or butter-laden dishes represent cherished American traditions, but saturated animal fats pose a major threat to cardiovascular health. Animal fats found in bacon, ribs, butter, and cheese contain high levels of saturated fat that trigger inflammation in blood vessel linings, promoting atherosclerosis. The American Heart Association recommends limiting saturated fat to below 6% of daily calories, approximately 13 grams, for a 2,000-calorie diet. The solution involves strategic substitutions. Replace bacon or ribs with baked mackerel or salmon rich in omega-3s that reduce vascular inflammation. Substitute butter with olive oil and replace cheese and cream with tofu or bean-based products that provide protein without saturated fat. Statins effectively lower cholesterol by inhibiting its production in the liver and can reduce heart disease risk by 20 to 30%. However, understanding medication's proper place in managing hyperlipidemia is crucial. Medication treats symptoms rather than addressing root causes. Like an umbrella during rainfall, it offers protection without stopping the underlying problem. Relying solely on medication without addressing dietary factors often results in continued vascular deterioration. Never reduce or discontinue prescribed medications without consulting your physician. Medication adjustments represent important decisions requiring professional oversight. Creating a heart-healthy eating plan doesn't require complicated recipes or exotic ingredients. Breakfast: begin with oatmeal, rich in soluble fiber that binds to cholesterol and removes it from your body. Add apple slices and chia seeds to increase fiber content. If you enjoy coffee, choose black coffee with a small amount of honey instead of creamer and sugar. Lunch: build your midday meal around brown rice, baked mackerel, and sautéed spinach. Brown rice contains more fiber than white rice, helping regulate cholesterol levels. Mackerel provides omega-3s that reduce vascular inflammation. Dinner: keep evening meals light with quinoa salad and salmon. Quinoa provides protein and fiber while remaining easily digestible. Salmon contains unsaturated fats that reduce inflammation. Make your own dressing using olive oil and lemon juice. Snacks: replace chips and ice cream with almonds or blueberries. Almonds provide healthy fats and fiber, while blueberries contain powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation. Among patients following these dietary guidelines for 3 months, 75% demonstrated measurable improvements in their blood test results. Just 15 minutes of light daily physical activity can reduce cholesterol levels by approximately 15%. These 5 simple habits require just 5 minutes each. 1. Morning stretching: extend your arms and bend gently to each side for 10 seconds. This improves circulation and maintains vessel flexibility. 2. Stair climbing: choose stairs instead of elevators whenever possible. Climbing just 2 to 3 floors provides excellent cardiovascular benefits. 3. Evening walk: take a 10-minute stroll after dinner. Post-meal walking is particularly effective for controlling blood sugar and cholesterol. 4. Chair squats: practice sitting down and standing up from a chair without using your hands. This strengthens thigh muscles and improves blood flow. 5. Deep breathing: spend 2 minutes taking deep breaths through your nose and exhaling slowly through your mouth. This lowers blood pressure and increases oxygen to blood vessels. Among patients following these practices for 3 months, 80% showed measurable improvements in their blood work. Research confirms that light, consistent exercise can reduce heart disease risk by approximately 25%. Dietary choices and daily habits aren't simply about nutritional metrics, they create the foundation for precious memories with loved ones and daily joys in our later years. Mrs. Robertson, 75, initially approached her diagnosis with resignation. After implementing dietary changes and 5-minute habits, she experienced a 20% cholesterol reduction within 6 months, and her medication dosage was eventually reduced. I play catch with my grandchildren every morning. I never imagined I could feel this happy at my age, she shared. This transformation doesn't require radical lifestyle overhauls. Begin with oatmeal for breakfast, fish for lunch, and a light dinner. Take a 10-minute evening walk. Place reminder notes on your refrigerator: oats, salmon, walk to establish these new habits. Start today with one small change. These seemingly minor adjustments accumulate into profound health transformations that protect your heart, clean your blood vessels, and enhance your enjoyment of life's precious moments. If you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe and hit the like button.